Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Unbettable. I'm Mondo here with Gary and Holmes. And today we got an action packed episode. Gary's going to fill us in on his little movie watching experiences. We got free agency updates, March Madness, a little bit of a preview and plays of the day, maybe even a graphic in there. I don't know if we have time, but we'll see. But boys, how we doing? Gary, you are in a new location. You're back in space. When did you get launched back up there? What's going on?
So yeah, we got back to the crib today about 3 o'clock. Um, yeah, sorry about the social media presence. I haven't really been there. I went on a little vacation, as you saw in the previous episode. Much needed vacation. I feel great. I feel refreshed. My mental feels great. Awesome to just get back in touch with nature and myself, and it was a vibe. So ready to get back at it. Um, but that's enough about me. Hart, how's your day going, bro?
Can't complain. Actually, no, there is something I'm going to complain about. It's fucking
Uh-oh.
Florida baseball. That's what I'm going to complain about. That was a horrid game that I watched last night. FSU smacked us around all night long. First of three rivalry games between FSU this year, and it is very possible that we are going to get swept by those motherfuckers. Because I'm going to say, you got to give credit where credit is due. FSU, not ranked yet, that's tough, man, because they look like a very good team. They're tearing the cover off the ball. Florida pitching was abysmal last night, as it has been all season long. So I am slightly unhappy, but we're here with the boys. We're going to talk sports. We're going to talk plays. So we're going to make it a better day today.
Mondo, how's your day, buddy?
My day's been interesting. Obviously, a busy day at work. Just found out that I'm gonna get an increasing workload, so that'll definitely be something. But we're here post work. No more talking about work. We're here for the vibes. We're here for the good times. Speaking of good times, Gary, what movies were a good time over the past couple of days?
Mondo, I just want to let you know your camera's moving at like 2 FPS right now. I don't really know why that is. But while maybe you potentially check that out, I watched two movies this weekend. Keep in mind that I didn't really have much of a pick on the movies we watched. I was in an Airbnb with seven girls and three guys, including me. All of us really good friends, but the girls kind of got in control of the TV and the movies for sure. So the first movie we watched this weekend was Jennifer's Body, featuring Megan Fox, the one, the only, the one that turned all of us straight whenever we were little boys. Megan Fox. This movie is a horror movie, but also a funny movie. The comedy is really weird and awkward though. Essentially, Jennifer is a smoking hot girl, and she has this little sidekick chick named Needy. And so they go to a concert in this little town that they live in called Devil's Kettle. Here's the first cornball aspect of it, Devil's Kettle. They go to a concert, and Jennifer is like, I'm gonna fuck the band members. She's a virgin though, so she's just like, I'm gonna lose my virginity to a band. Um, then all of a sudden, the club implodes in fire. Everybody starts screaming. People are literally burning to death on the screen. And then Jennifer and Edie making out, and so does the band. And the band's like, "Hey, come get in my van, and we're gonna fuck." So Jennifer gets in the van. And Edie's like, "Nah, bro, don't do that shit." And then Jennifer goes off. She gets sacrificed to the devil. The band becomes successful, and then Jennifer goes around eating people. She seduces them and then kills them. And that's how she kind of stays alive. And then in the end, they kill Jennifer, her best friend does. And then Needy goes to a mental hospital. So that's the first movie. That one I gave 2 stars on Letterboxd. If you got Letterboxd, follow me at Lil Schlump. Next movie I watched was The Visit. Now, this movie I also gave 2 stars because of just how disturbing it was. So essentially, these two kids go visit their grandparents, and they live out in the middle of nowhere, of course. And the grandparents are really weird. They say we have a bedtime of 9:30 in this house. Don't go out of your room after 9:30. Don't go in the basement. There's a mold problem. So we're setting it up for failure. The kids are sleeping on the first night, and they hear a running outside. scratching, sorry. They open the door, and here lies the butt naked grandma scratching the door frame. All you see is her ass. She's just like, yeah. Basically, shit gets weirder and weirder. We find out the grandparents used to volunteer at a mental hospital. And then people start showing up to the house like, hey, where's your grandmother? Where's your grandfather? He had this obligation. He's not there. So then the girl decides to go in the basement because the grandparents are getting weirder. There they find their real grandparents dead in a garbage can and 2 uniforms for mental hospital patients. So basically, these mental hospital people escaped. The kids are forced to go Rambo mode and they kill the fake grandparents. One of them gets stabbed in the neck by a piece of glass, and the other one gets his head crushed by a refrigerator door. Um, so yeah, I didn't watch any sports movies, but I did watch some movies I will never watch
At
again.
The Visit,
Yeah, The Visit.
I've definitely watched that.
Yeah,
It
it's like
definitely was fucking weird.
it's like one of the famous scenes is the grandma's like, "Oh, get in the oven and clean it," like super sus, like yeah. But that was movies with Gare.
So Gare went on a horror movie binge, is what I put together here.
Yeah,
All
and I had
right,
a
good
great
for
time
you,
doing it.
Gary.
Yeah,
You had to switch up the drama a little bit. I respect it. You know, you go from funny to scary. I see you. I see you.
I love scary.
Holmes, you got any recommendations for him?
Man, I don't know, not off the top of my head. I mean, my favorite baseball movie of all time, Garrett, I'm sure you've seen this, Major League. I love that movie more than anything. That is so,
Incredible.
yeah, it's hilarious. Like I just whenever I watch that, like puts me in a good mood. I can't stop laughing. Gary, have you seen it?
No, I'm about to write them down.
Then bang. That bro, that is like a quintessential baseball movie. You will absolutely love that. Charlie
If you
Sheen
watch it,
in the movie.
you need to watch the second one as well.
Made
Because
in
the second one's just
1989.
as ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's three. So you probably don't have to watch the third. The third really isn't
The
that great.
third's, yeah, it's not good, but the first and second are like so fucking funny.
Yeah, just make sure you watch that first one because that is OG baseball movie, one of the best. That my favorite. And I love it. I love it so much.
And it's a
It's like
comedy?
Bad News Bears in the MLB.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is definitely a comedy.
All right. I'll put it on there. I got both of them on lock.
Yeah, you'll love that shit. You'll love that shit.
All right, boys. We ready to tackle some winners and losers from Tuesday's free agency?
Yeah. With the robot Mondo.
Is it still bad?
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. I'm gonna pause it real quick. We'll be right back.
All right, boys, let's talk winners and losers from day 2 of free agency. This could be trades, free agent signings, you know, clearing cap space. Let's do your top 3 winners of day 2. Holmes, give me your 3.
All right. First of all, I'm gonna go with my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, we talked about it a little bit on the past pod, but to be able to retain all the talent that might have gone out the door at the end of the season, Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Antoine Winfield, that was a fantastic start. Just re-signed Levante David to a 1-year deal, another buck for life. One of the most consistent linebackers in the NFL across his entire career, and he has not gotten the credit he deserves. So I'm just very, very happy that he's going to stay a part of the defense. And then a really big move for the Bucs today, bringing back Jordan Whitehead at the safety position. From the Jets, he was a great, great safety for the Bucs, especially during that Super Bowl run with Tom Brady. He is a very good leader, very good tackler, which is definitely what the Bucs are going to need on the back end of that defensive side. So I'm really, really happy to see the Bucs at least keeping all the talent in house and then bringing guys back to make sure that they keep everything that they have strong and intact. Second team I got to go with,
Okay.
man, the Ravens. And I think this is pretty obvious. The Derrick Henry move was crazy. I mean, dude, Derrick Henry to the Ravens. Again, we talked about it like right before we came on. I think a bunch of people expected this move to be made for Derrick Henry to go there. This is something that Baltimore has been missing for a long time. just being able to have a very reliable running back in that backfield. J.K. Dobbins has all the talent in the world, but he can't stay on the field. And I feel so bad for the kid. But this is a guy that's going to be toting that rock 30 times a game, going to take a lot of pressure off Lamar, going to be fantastic in goal line situations. I mean, I think that's such a big move for them. 100%. It's going to make their offense 10 times better immediately, in my opinion. And then another running back move, the Eagles, dude. Saquon to the Eagles is a very, very big move. I saw this on Twitter today. I don't know if it was the NFL account that posted this, but the Giants had like the 31st offensive line protection for the run game. I don't know how. I'm probably saying that completely wrong, but they were ranked 31st in the league in run blocking. That's what they were. Eagles ranked number 1. That is a ridiculous upgrade for a guy that is still in his prime. Unfortunately, he has kind of gotten his years wasted on the Giants because they have been such a mediocre team, poor quarterback play, awful defense. Like, they just can't get anything going there in New York. But now he's going to a team that has been moving towards Super Bowls every year. They are getting in the playoffs consistently. They have a great leadership in Jalen Hurts at the quarterback position. I mean, that guy being a solid running back for them, just like the Ravens situation, man, that is going to make that offense so much better. And Saquon is going to have a ton of opportunities to break a ton of big runs and to be probably one of the best running backs in the league this year.
Gary, top 3 winners.
All right. So basically hard to summarize the top 3. So I'm gonna throw a couple different ones in there. My first one, of course, is I'm gonna go with the Bucks, just because, those are my dogs. Keeping the big key components intact and keeping that chemistry flowing after especially having such a big year last year. And then the addition of the safety, which will hopefully eliminate our horrible, horrible run defense. At least I feel like it wasn't as good as it could have been last year. Um, that was one thing that was really hard to watch last year, was just watching the Bucks just get trampled by a run. So hopefully that switches things up. I'm gonna switch the tone a little bit. I'm gonna say the Browns. I don't necessarily think they are a winner, but I feel like this is one that is going to be very interesting to watch. The addition of Jameis Winston, of course, is what I'm talking about. You have Deshaun Watson, of course, who has had his troubles in his history. Jameis Winston also, who has trouble in his history. Um, I'm just curious to see how this one's going to play out. I'm curious to see who we're going to see on the field more. I'm curious to see if the addition of Jameis Winston will basically trump Deshaun Watson and we'll never see him again. I'm just curious to see how the whole thing is going to play out, needless to say. My last one, I'm going to go with the Falcons. I feel like the addition of a veteran like Kirko could be something that the Falcons could tremendously benefit from. I think we've talked about this multiple times, but finally getting people activated. Why am I blanking on the best tight end in the NFL right now?
Mr. Kyle Pitts.
Mr. Kyle Pitts. Thank you, Hart. Notice how I said best tight end in football. I believe he really could be a contender if he had somebody who could actually throw the ball to him. So I think the addition of Kirko here, as long as he stays away from getting hurt, could be really good for the Falcons. So in conclusion, my top 3, we got the Bucks, Browns, and we got the Falcons.
What if I told you none of those 3 are the top 3 takeaways you should have? Would you be shocked?
Yeah.
Okay. Takeaway number 1, one big winner, the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans entered the free agency period looking for their feature back. They got him in Joe Mixon, a dynamic, absolute feature who can both just be a straight downhill runner and a receiving back and can give CJ Stroud a lot more options out of the backfield than what he currently has. So look for the Texans to make it deep in the postseason again. That's number 1 winner. Number 2 is the revenge factor. We've seen all these moves in free agency. Saquon to the Eagles, Patrick Queen to the Steelers, Jones to Vikings, Geno Stone from Ravens to Bengals, Jordan Poyer from Bills to the Dolphins. And we'll get to Jordan Poyer. But the revenge factor is crazy, and it's gonna draw ratings. It's gonna be fun to watch, and it's sure as shit gonna be fun to bet on. I can promise you that. Number 3, the biggest winner of them all, the Miami Dolphins fan base. Why is it? Well, it's not just because Chris Greer woke up. It's not. That's not as important. I'll tell you what's important. Rachel Bush is now in South Beach. That's what's important. Jordan Poyer's incredible girl is now a South Florida resident. That doesn't get you to a Dolphins game. I don't know what will. Those are your 3 winners from Tuesday.
What is so special about this girl?
Why don't you pull up an image?
What's her name?
Rachel Bush.
Rachel.
And while we do that, I'll start with my 3 losers. Actually, Holmes, I'll let you start it off.
Oh man, I want you to start it off because I got to do a little bit more thinking about this.
Okay. So yeah, wow is right. Huh? wow is indeed correct, Gary. Loser number 1, I would probably say, is the receiver market as a whole. There's been a lot of people waiting to be signed, and no one's really getting that high-end deal that they've been after. So it's slowly bringing down that receiving market. Number 2, it's just got to be Justin Fields. I mean, the guy can't get out of Chicago. Nobody's trading for him, and he's not going to be starting next year. So it's just like he's sitting there. He's stuck. He doesn't know what to do. This would have been the perfect time for Chicago to capitalize on the trade. They didn't. And then Jimmy Garoppolo suspended for PEDs. I mean, Minshew sign. Aiden O'Connell's on the roster. Jimmy Garoppolo is done for as an NFL QB. Like, there's nothing left for him. He's only got good looks. That's why he still gets talked about. At the end of the day, the guy is not meant to be. Those are my 3 losers. Holmes?
All right. First one I'm going to go with is the Vikings. Obviously, Vikings losing Kirk Cousins really kind of puts them in a hole in the quarterback position. I know they signed Sam Darnold, but I don't believe that he is going to be the starter for them moving forward. I think this could be a situation where they might be trying to trade for Justin Fields or maybe going for somebody younger in the draft. And then coupled with that, the Justin Jefferson drama right now, he will not sign an extension with them until he knows what the plan is going to be moving forward. And I completely agree with him. I mean, if Kirk was going to stay and they were going to have almost that same offense that they were going to be running with the addition of Aaron Jones, I definitely think he would have been pretty happy to be able to stay in Minnesota. But I think that's looking a little rough right now. And if you're the Minnesota Vikings, I mean, I don't know, you can't afford to lose a talent like that. That's just going to be really, really tough. I think another one, I'm gonna go with T. Higgins. T. Higgins, man, he is such a great talent. He is a great wide receiver, and I love him being on the opposite side of Jamar Chase for the Bengals because it gives Joe Burrow a ton of options to be able to work with there in Cincinnati. But him saying he is requesting a trade, from what I have heard and seen, there doesn't look like there is the biggest market out there in the world for him. I think the Patriots might be a front runner for him right now. And unfortunately for T. Higgins, I would not want to go to the Patriots right now with all the uncertainty around that organization. I know that is a team that is in desperate need of weapons, but until you have a quarterback that you feel really good about, it's going to be tough to be able to go to that team and do anything of substance. The
We
last
have
one,
breaking news.
Let's hear it.
Calvin Ridley to the Titans. 4-year,
Yes.
$92 million.
Yes, I did just see that.
You may
That is
continue.
pretty decent. Titans are kind of loading up a little bit, bringing Tony Pollard over for the run game after the departure of Derrick Henry, adding Calvin Ridley to the D-Hop wide receiver core. That's not too bad, man. I think you gotta be happy at least with some of the moves that they're making. I think for me, gosh, the third one is so hard to pick. I hate saying this, but I gotta go with it. it's got to be the Miami Dolphins, man. I feel so bad. You had that massive rant on Monday. They've just let go way too many key pieces on that defense that could be a real help for them. You know, just like you said, instead of trying to build on what they had last season, they're pretty much just trying to start over from scratch. And I don't agree with that because of all the talent that they had on that side. Their talent level was not the problem. Injuries were the problem. And that's, you can't overcome that in football. Injuries come with the game. It's a violent game. It happens to every team. I mean, the healthiest teams typically go to the Super Bowl. That's almost how it works every year. You have to be healthy and have all of your talent out there on the field for you to produce. I just saw that Xavier Howard was let go from the Dolphins. Like, I mean, they're just letting guys walk left and right. And I do not think that that is going to be a good recipe for success if you're trying to do anything to build on what you did last season, making it to the playoffs and having one of the best seasons the Dolphins have had in a while.
Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins definitely took some fatal blows, but I'm going to start off with the Dallas Cowboys. Losing one of their top performing players of last year with Tony Pollard and essentially signing no new talent to the team, I feel is going to be devastating. Obviously, their defense doesn't need much, but they are missing just one key component on that offense for making them perfect. I'm not really quite sure what it is, but you know, if they were to find that key component, they would definitely be a contender almost every year. Let's move on to the Bills. Um, the Bills really haven't made many moves this offseason. They are keeping Josh Allen, of course, but they've released, like Mondo said, Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White, Gabe Davis, which was a huge, like a big one, I think, for the Bills. And they just really haven't.
Who?
What
Who's that? Who? Gary?
is a who?
What did you say? It's a hoot?
I said huge.
Oh, huge. My apologies. All right, you can cut this part out.
Song get down. So let's move on. The last one that I feel really bad for, Mondo touched on this, is Mr. Justin Fields. This could be a hot take, but it could not be a hot take. I'm not really sure how you guys are going to receive it. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I really don't. He proves to be in the meta quarterback kind of build right now. Somebody that can move and throw on the run is huge, especially in the state of the NFL right now. And I feel like people are missing out by not giving him an opportunity, really. I feel like if he had a better team to work with, somebody who could actually protect him in the backfield so he doesn't get his head launched off every other play, um, I think he could be a force to be reckoned with. I just really think he needs time, and I think he needs a team that believes in him because I feel like, of course, I mean, this is just goes for the NFL as a whole. Our mindset on how we perceive the Chicago Bears is not necessarily as that of a top team, obviously. Um, and I'm sure NFL players think of this shit the exact same way. So when you see somebody who doesn't really necessarily get to perform to their maximum potential, you don't really know what they're capable of. So I feel like he deserves a chance somewhere, just somewhere better in Chicago, obviously. But I think he definitely missed out on this free agency. It's not over yet though, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, shit keeps coming in. I mean, it's getting dropped live on the podcast, so you never know what's gonna happen.
Jeez.
We got March Madness coming up next week, guys. Selection Sunday, obviously this Sunday, in case you didn't figure that out. Before we get into it, where will you guys be watching the first 2 days of March Madness?
She probably right here in Gainesville. Sadly, I wish I was doing something cooler for it, but have to go out to a bar and check something out, dude. I mean, I'm just excited to put together brackets. This is like one of the most fun times of the year. Everything is so unpredictable. Just getting to put these together in the beginning and feeling so confident that you picked a winner, and then your boy's going out in the first round. Like, I'm gonna say it right now, bro. I picked Arizona to win last year, and when they got bounced by Princeton early, deflation immediately. Crazy. Cannot do that again. Going to have to pick a much better bracket this year. Although Arizona does look good this season, I will not be making that mistake again.
Gary,
What day does it start?
next Thursday, bro.
Next Thursday?
This fucking guy.
Well, I will be in Polk County next Thursday because my parents are going on a cruise, which is also taking me out of Gainesville for St. Patty's Day. Very unfortunate. But yeah, I guess I'll be home with my dog type shit, and we'll just chill out on the couch and watch some basketball.
Very nice. I will be in an office on Thursday and Friday. I will be bringing in a TV and I will be setting it up in front of our 92-inch conference room TV that I will be taking over and watching basketball all day and betting on basketball all day, just like I did last year.
92 inches is nuts.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I think it might be bigger than that, but I'm not sure.
That is pretty crazy.
I want that shit.
Yeah,
Hey,
same,
bro.
bro.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish I brought it, like, I stole it from the office and set it up here.
I
But
mean,
yeah, that's the plan.
12.
Gary's trying to figure out 92 inches.
Gonna do the math in his head real quick.
He's struggling.
It's like a
That's
little,
like a lot of feet.
it's a little bit under 8 feet. That's pretty crazy.
It's like almost 100 inches.
Hey, bro, I did the
That's
math.
crazy.
Whatever, dog. I could have just said, wow, it's 92 inches, but
Yeah. All right, we'll do a shortened preview until we get the bracket on Sunday. We will have the full preview on Monday. Gentlemen, your 3 teams to watch going into the tournament. I'll kick it off and then send it to you guys. Number 1, obviously, is UConn. UConn has been absolutely electric this season. Although they haven't been talked about as much as they should, their players rank in the tops of the entire NCAA basketball. Look for them to potentially repeat this season. Number 2, Florida Gators. Their pace of play is absolutely incredible. They show no hesitation, always push through, and they are built for a deep tournament run. Number 3, shockingly enough, is FAU. Yeah, they've struggled through the regular season, but guess what? They found a way to come back to the tournament. They have an experienced team, and they're built for the long haul. Anything can happen in March, boys. That's why it's March Madness.
Damn right.
FAU, UF, and UConn, watch those 3 teams in the tourney. Unless UF and FAU match up, in which case that would fucking suck. But
That would be tough.
we'll revisit that on Monday. Holmes.
All right. Well, first team I want to go with is Tennessee. I do like Tennessee this year. I think they've kind of been overlooked a little bit just because there's a ton of talent in the SEC. And I know typically they have been known to flame out in March Madness, but I do like this team that Rick Barnes has put together. Their defensive rating, I think, is 3rd in adjusted defense, according to Ken Palm. The offense maybe could use a little bit of work, but I really do like going into March Madness. If you have a strong defense, I believe that you'll be able to find your shot and you'll be able to eventually get that offense going and keep it consistent. Obviously, I'm on the same wave of you as Connecticut, so we won't touch on that. But I also do like Creighton. Creighton was a team that I actually took a future on at plus 3,000 to win the whole thing. I think this is a great team out of the Big East. According to Ken Palm, they're rated 11th in adjusted offense and 21st in adjusted defense. Those are great metrics to have on both sides of the ball, being in the top 15 for adjusted offense and top 25 for adjusted defense. They can get it done on both ends of the court. And if they get hot from 3-man, watch out because you are not going to be able to beat this team. And then another team I actually do want to highlight a little bit. Another team that is known to flame out in March Madness, Marquette. I think Marquette has looked really, really good this year. They are actually top 20 in Ken Palm in both adjusted offense and defense. They've looked really good under Shaka Smart this year. I think this is definitely a team that can be built for a pretty deep tournament run. Again, out of the Big East, there's just so many good teams that come out of that conference, and for them to have performed as well as they have, in that conference this year. I think that gives me some confidence in Marquette moving forward.
Gary.
Y'all know me in basketball, man. I don't got nearly as much to say as anybody else. First team to watch, the Gators.
Just name them. Like, just name.
No,
a
but I'm
team.
saying I'm not gonna have the statistical backing. I just wanted to put that
You
out,
don't need
out
it.
there.
Just name them.
Motherfucking Gators. Fuck everybody except the Gators. This is the golden hour. This is the golden year. Golden is gonna put some gold on that trophy shelf by winning that March Madness trophy, even though it ain't gold. I'm pretty sure it's like a silver color. But fuck it, we ball. We winning this shit. Next team, just because I kind of have a feeling, a little Gary gut feeling, if you call it, the Kansas Jayhawks. I don't know why. I feel like they've made a run at it a few times. I've definitely heard their name in the late runnings for it. So fuck it. The last one I'm gonna put out there is Creighton. I'm just gonna take this one as like a dark horse and just throw it in there. And I might sprinkle $5 on them to win the whole thing. So that's who I got. We got the Gators above everybody, the Jayhawks, and the Creighton Boilermakers. I don't know.
Blue Jays.
Blue Jays.
There you go.
Blue Jays.
Oh my God.
Right, I got a question, right? How long into being in Atlanta do you think Kirk Cousins is gonna take to like go to Magic City?
Probably already been.
Brother,
Sure.
I
No way
don't
it
think
hasn't been
he'll
already.
ever step foot in there. That man is a man of Christ. He'll order those wings to go. He will not step foot in that club. Not a chance in hell.
I think that we should go to Magic City. That'd be a fire
Oh,
video.
do you? Is that what you think?
Yeah, man.
If you drive us all there, I'm down for it.
Let's go watch the first round of March Madness at Magic City.
Dog, that would go crazy.
I'm sure we'll see Lou Will there. I'm down, bro. I'll take some days off for it. I don't really care.
Some lemon pepper special.
You heard?
Go crazy, man.
Sorry, that was just a random thing that I've been seeing all over Twitter. I thought it was pretty funny.
This fucking guy. I can't with him.
What?
Well,
Oh.
that leaves us with the plays of the day, boys. Holmes, what do you got for me?
We got a lot tonight. I did not have much when we talked on Monday. I don't even think we gave out any picks on the Monday episode. So we're going to come at it strong tonight. Recap of last night's college baseball. We went 4-2. We had a great night. All three of our parlays cashed. Our plus money play on Southern Miss to beat Alabama at home cashed out as well. Unfortunately, Kansas and Wake Forest just could not pull through on those single bets for us. So one parlay that I already put out on the Twitter earlier today, Mississippi State and UCF money lines. That is plus 105 tonight. UCF just got swept by Oklahoma in their first Big 12 series this past weekend. Play Stetson tonight. I think it's going to be a big bounce back night for them. UCF has been playing very well, hitting the cover off the ball, so we're going to take them tonight. And Mississippi State actually just lost last night. I do not see them losing 2 midweek games in a row, so we're going to take Mississippi State tonight as well. To college basketball, I got one play in the SEC tournament. I'm going to take Georgia minus 2.5 tonight against Mizzou. Mizzou has legitimately been one of the worst teams against the spread, not only in SEC play, but in the entire NCAA. They have not been a good team this year. Georgia has actually been like 50% covering the spread, so I will take that any day over like a 9-21 record from Mizzou. I think the Georgia Bulldogs are going to get it done and then face the Gators in the next round. So we're going to take them minus 2.5 tonight, minus 110. And then to the NBA, man, I got a lot of good plays in the NBA. A lot of these I am going to tail my buddy Kyle on. He has been pretty hot in the NBA recently. I'm going to take the Nuggets minus 3 tonight against the struggling Heat for minus 115. I'm also going to take Cam Thomas to score 20 plus points for plus 105 against the Orlando Magic tonight. I'm also going to take De'Aaron Fox to score 30 plus points against the Lakers at home tonight, plus 105. De'Aaron Fox has scored 30 points at least in every game he has played against the Lakers this season, so we're going to look to continue that trend tonight. I'm also going to take Luka Doncic, the man who has been absolutely on fire. We're going to take him for a triple-double tonight, plus 135 at home against the Golden State Warriors. And then a couple parlays. We're going to put together Cade Cunningham, 8+ assists, and Austin Reeves over 1.5 3-pointers made. Get plus 152 odds on that. And I'm also going to take Chris Paul over 8.5 assists with the absence of Steph Curry, with DeMar DeRozan 5+ assists. Comes out at plus 162. So a lot of NBA plays tonight, but that is my slate, gentlemen.
Very nice. Gary, you have any plays?
Yes, I do, motherfucker.
Wow, look at this guy go.
I'm gonna take the Warriors to cover the spread tonight against the Mavericks, which is plus 7.5. I feel like that's definitely feasible. I'm gonna take the Cavaliers plus 5.5 against New Orleans because they have been hot as fuck recently, and I don't really understand why they're getting doubted right now. They currently have a 29% win percentage, but fuck it. You know how I like to rock with the underdogs, and we know how it usually comes out. So take it or leave it. I'm gonna take Cleveland plus 5.5. And then I'm also going to copy hard a little bit here. I'm going to take the Nuggets minus 3.5 over the Heat. I mean, this is the Nuggets here. I mean, call it a bluff if it doesn't work out in the end, but I think it's going to happen. So I'm going to take Denver minus 3.5. So I got 3 plays tonight, which is 3 more than I usually have. So that's nice.
All right, you know me, Mr. Player Prop himself. We got Jokic over 24.5 points. Jokic owns the Heat. It's a no-brainer tonight. You guys are obviously on the Nugs bandwagon, and I don't like it as a Heat fan, but Jokic is going to ball. We got DeJounte Murray, the man, the myth. Mr. 40.5 points, rebounds, assists tonight against a shitty Portland team. It's a no-brainer. We got De'Aaron Fox. Holmes, you hit on the 30 points. Let me tell you this one, 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists tonight against the Lakers. Like we got Mr. DeAndre Ayton against the Hawks, over 18.5 points plus assists. He's basically the only weapon on that team right now. It makes so much sense to take this line. And finally, we got Luka, the madman himself, over 44.5 points plus assists tonight against the Warriors. That's your 5-play Cinco tonight from your boy. Gentlemen, do we have anything else to hit on today?
Shit, man. I think that might be all we have, but I will say just be prepared for this weekend in college baseball. I say every week, but we are going to be dropping a ton of plays. Conference play gets started all around college baseball this weekend. There's going to be a lot of shorter lines. We're going to be able to take a lot of teams just straight up on the money line, and hopefully a lot more spreads and totals will be available as well. So maybe we'll dip our toes into that a little bit, but very, very exciting time for college baseball. Shit is heating up, so make sure you are following us.
Speaking of following, I announced it today in the group chat, but Bull Gator Broadcasting has hit 700 followers. I just want to say thank you to everybody who follows us. It's huge. It's a big accomplishment. That's damn near 400 more than we had when I first started. So this is pretty badass. And thank you everybody for the support.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Keep killing it, Gare. You're doing a great job. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, share with everyone you know. We will see you guys on the next episode to present March Madness. Peace.